Today was really good effort. Everybody had a little spring in our step. Hopefully that's an indication of being fresh and getting back to a game week routine. But I thought in all three phases had tremendous effort. And anytime you're in install mode a little bit on a game week, you're going to have some execution issues or a couple little hesitation assignment mistakes that we can clean up as the week goes. But the effort, which has been our guys' hallmark, was outstanding.
You got to watch some games on Saturday. What were your impressions of the rest of the country?
Well, it's just amazing I was sitting there with a notepad, and it's just amazing of the stuff that can go wrong. Or the stuff that you try to communicate. I was watching part of I've got a buddy at Virginia Tech, and they're playing Marshall, triple overtime game, and some situations that came up in that game where, there were different issues associated with the targeting rule that came up in several games, or just batting the ball down on 4th down, or 3rd and 10 as it was in the Edmonton-Winnipeg game. Big 3rd down conversion on tip play.
Going for it on 3rd,
yeah.
That's gutsy.
It was a huge play. So just all those kind of things, you try to just cover as many as you can.
Concerned when you do come back, and you can't control the schedule obviously, but taking a little time off, you've had some good momentum going. Is there ever any worry that will you be back where you were?
Well, you just try to manage that as best as you can. And our guys have worked tremendously hard. Do you worry about staying sharp, staying crisp a little bit? But we tried to do that last week. Just maintain the timing. Install a little bit of Cal plan, but just try to focus on ourselves a little bit last week.
On the other hand, though, there's probably a lot of value, Mark, in that time off then for the players.
We hope so. We certainly sell it that way. And anytime you can give your big guys some just some time down off of banging, whether it's their shoulders or their pecs or their hands or just running as much as our big guys do, it feels good. And I thought on both sides of the ball up front, we were fresh today. And so that's a big deal. Even if it's a psychosomatic thing that they, if they think that's the reason, by God, that's the reason.
Any impressions of the conference so far through the non-conference schedule?
There's a lot of good teams. There's a bunch of games that you kind of, you sort of think are going to go some way, and maybe they end up that way, and it's not quite how you thought it may have been scripted. But there's a lot of talented teams in this conference, and diverse teams. I think all of the quote-unquote spread teams are totally different. I think Arizona State, Arizona, if we're in that category, Cal, Washington State, Washington's a very different team than they've been in the last several years. And so, again, that means you need to take care of Monday, and your Monday, and that's it.
What are the main differences between what Cal does and what you guys do? Obviously, they want to run a similar amount of plays as you.
Yeah, they've had a lot more plays than we've had. They do a good job of mixing it. I think Sonny's always done a great job of running the ball, or at least having the appearance of a run game for a lot of those types of guys. They want to make you think they can run it, but they can really run it. But they've done a great job. A young quarterback that's executed really well for them. They've got a couple talented tailbacks and some big wideouts, and so they've distributed the ball well to all those guys. The tight end has been a huge weapon for them throughout the years, going back to when Sonny had like Gronkowski and those guys. So they've done a good job. Great job.
They were kind of blown out by two ranked.
Go ahead.
They were kind of blown out by two ranked teams, but they put up points against those teams. They didn't quit. They kept fighting.
Definitely.
Were you impressed by that?
Absolutely. They've always been a very talented group. Just athletically, we know a lot of those guys from trying to recruit a lot of them, and so we know the athleticism and the capability of those teams, and our guys will prepare with that in mind. Anytime you get punched in the face and you get back up, that's admirable. However it works out, and Northwestern and Ohio State are really good. So there's goods, bads, pluses, minuses to all that stuff.
Mark, do you see this as the first real test for your secondary?
As far as just sheer number, certainly. I think we've been tested in different ways. A couple of the other teams we've played maybe have tried to play action and set something up to one guy, where this is a all-encompassing, 5 guys are going to be eligible type of passing game. And so from that standpoint, it's a totally different deal. And that's
Oh,
where pass defense, is an 11-man job. We've got to pressure him. You've got to cover. You've got to do your job, be disciplined, and then tackle.
Can you kind of, I don't know, maybe characterize your secondary? How would you say, as a unit, what their
I think
personalities?
their personality. Oh gosh, I thought you were going to say they're. I think they're a tough group. I think they're playing really well collectively. But that's again where that part of that is because Wade Kalikipi put pressure on the quarterback, and Derek Malone did his job, and somebody, so it's not EFO locking one guy down, so to speak, but all 11 guys doing their job.
I would imagine there's an excitement level, Mark, for the secondary. I mean, I think Goff has put up 169 passes in 3 games, so they're certainly airing it out. Are the guys excited to face somebody who puts the ball in there that much?
I'm sure a little bit. I think our guys are excited to play, period.
Yeah.
And we want it that way. I'm sure there's a little extra added dimension of they know there's going to be some live balls. At the same time, that just goes back again to do your job. Don't do something out of the system, out of character, to create a big play that's not your job. And again, the same goes for the D line or the linebacker that is stopping the play action pass or whatever your job is, do it.